Well, I have something to say. First off, I'd like to start with the gender roles in life, what they were originally meant to be and intended for. A woman is a nurturer, a caregiver, and somebody that stays home and takes care of the kids. As the women's revolution happened, I actually interviewed a woman for a school project that took part in that. The bra burning, the panties burning, and things to that nature. And she basically said that they wanted to be recognized not only for their beauty, but for the fact that they could possibly outdo any man in the workplace or in the classroom for that matter. And those are the women that paved the way for the things that are going on in today's climate, in today's society, and the progress that they have made. And I'd be the first one to admit, folks, that there are certain women that can outclass me in every way. And I doff my hat to them, and I think that's just sexy as fuck. Moving on. When you stay detached in life, such as an avoidant does, you are your environment, therefore you're going to be attracted to a certain type of guy or girl probably that's in your environment. And when you are attracted to that certain type of guy, that becomes not only acceptable, but the status quo, and they are considered manly men because when something happens or somebody gets insulted or somebody gets dissed or whatever, or somebody's amiss, they take it to the street, they pull a gun, they bring home the bacon in one fashion or another. They're probably smart enough to get an actual job. They're abusive, but they come to expect that and receive it as welcome attention because that's basically all the attention that they get. And they welcome it because somewhere along the way, probably way before they met that particular person, they began to receive abuse as welcome attention and affection and things to that nature, which cause certain avoidant issues and other personality issues probably. So, a man does not go out like a coward and do something to go to jail, thus making sure that he gets sent away from his family so that he cannot take care of them. A man stays by his family because that's his first priority. A man goes to work every day. If his family doesn't eat, then he doesn't eat. Going forward, if he has a problem with somebody else, if a fist fight occurs, that's fine, but he doesn't make any stupid mistakes, so he goes to jail and he goes away from his family. People look at me, people in my particular current social circle anyway, and say, well, Chris, you ain't got no balls, homie. I've shown that I got plenty of balls, Bubba, all through the years that I've been out here. And I don't got nothing to prove to you or anybody else, but I know one thing for certain. A man does not abuse his old lady and get her to the point where she receives that as welcome attention. You are gentle and kind with a woman. And I'm not saying this to anybody in particular. I'm saying it just as a blanket statement. You don't abuse your old lady. You treat her with respect. That's your queen. You treat her with a kindness and a gentleness that you would treat a baby puppy dog. And you're not a pussy and you don't abuse baby puppy dogs either. So I guess what I'm ever so gently trying to say is that people's perspective may be slightly different as to what a man is depending on their experience in life. But a man does not go out like a coward. A man does not go to jail and leave his family out there hanging. A man does not abuse his wife. And a man does not treat people like shit and hurt people all in the name of the almighty dollar. He goes out and earns his paycheck. Or he goes out and earns a college degree so he can get a really good paycheck so that he can provide for his wife and children and give them the life that they deserve. That is a man. And if what I'm describing right now means that I'm a sellout and a conformist and all the rest of that garbage, then I am a sellout and a conformist. Because straight up, I don't mind getting into a fist fight. But push comes to shove, I had a family. I would never do anything to jeopardize that and go to jail and leave them out here by themselves where I couldn't take care of them. And they would be susceptible to certain predators and certain pieces of garbage that would be coming around my fucking house looking to take over my life. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is this. It's amazing what you can get used to all through life. It's amazing what you learn to put up with. And coming from a guy that stayed detached for the better part of his life, there's nothing like finding someone that is like you or similar and learning how to attach in a healthy way and have that mutual respect and that mutual love and that mutual admiration and that mutual togetherness and that kindness to one another. And I get it, right? You know, certain people, they don't get affection as much as they used to or whatever the fuck ever. And they go looking for that elsewhere. And when someone gives it to them, it makes them so happy because finally they feel desirable again. And a woman, I don't care what kind of baseball cap she wants to put on and what kind of jeans she wants to put on, she's still a woman. And above all things, a woman wants to know that she's capable, that she's smart, that she's beautiful, and that she is desired. And if you find that togetherness with any particular person, instead of an abusive, dysfunctional situation that deep in your heart, your inner child's like, get me the fuck out of here already, because you're used to it, because it's become the norm and the status quo for you, because you have a really distorted view as to what a man actually is and what his role is in life and what his role is in your life. You need to grow up a little bit and realize that a man takes care of his wife, takes care of his children, does not make any stupid fucking mistakes that make him go to jail and make him unavailable and unable to take care of his wife and kids. If his family doesn't eat, then he doesn't eat. You follow the rules of the Bible when it comes to marriage and how that should go. And you do not, under any circumstances, mistreat someone that you claim to love and care for, because if you mistreat them, that's not loving and caring. And no matter how many times you apologize and say, honey, you made me do it, but I'll never do it again, doesn't make it any better, doesn't make it any less painful, and it doesn't make it any less more scarring for that particular woman. And it happens to men too. Men just don't talk about it as often because it's a lot more embarrassing for us, because according to society, it's not supposed to happen to us, but it does. So the best thing that I can possibly say is this in closing. If you are used to trying with particular gentlemen that have a distorted view as to what a man is and make dumb mistakes and don't seriously want to get their lives on track and their shit in order, and if you have come to expect abuse as the status quo, knowing full well that that guy is just as liable to punch you in the face as he is to punch someone that called you a whore in front of his friends only because his friends are watching and he doesn't want to look like a fucking pussy, then perhaps you need to re-examine your situation and realize that that is not what a man is. That's what an idiot is. And that particular person needs to grow the fuck up and either appreciate what he has or move the fuck out of the way and let the next guy come in that will appreciate that woman. But that is really all I have to say. But I'm going to reiterate one more thing. You need to realize this. If you find a situation where it's healthy and the man says it's okay to come forth a little bit, and I'm not going to hurt you. You know, I'm reminded of this little baby dog that I saw the other day. And this little baby dog had been abused its whole entire life. And he was scared shitless of this big guy. Guy was about 6'6". He adopted him. So he put a little bit of food in in his cage every day. And he'd take him out and he'd pet him and everything else, and he'd bite him, and he was pissed. But eventually the baby dog got to be playful, and he learned that he could trust the man. And he let his belly be scratched, and he was so happy, and he moaned and he grinned and he whined and everything else, and he loved it. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, domestic situations can make somebody just as feral as going outside. And that's when your fight or flight instincts start to take over. And your survival instincts start to take over. And a lot of times survival instincts will entail being manipulative, lying, cheating, and not knowing that you're even doing it, because it's become reflex to protect yourself, and you're so afraid that given the particular situation you're going to get hurt, that you continue to keep those walls up, and you continue to have those feral animal instincts avail you. And no one can take those walls down but you. And you can protest and bitch and whine and say all you want that they're not, but they are. And you know what? Half the time you probably don't even know that you're doing it. And I say this just as a general statement, but it's all walls. It's all big walls you build, you put up. You put a Doberman and a German Shepherd up on a wall to scare people away. And then one day you look down and you realize that nobody's there. And everybody ran away on you. And then you think to yourself, well, hey, maybe that guy or that girl was really nice, and maybe I should have let him in and let my walls down. And now I'm sitting here in this bed with this random person, and I don't even remember his name, and I don't know what's going on in my life, and wait a sec, there's something wrong here. Anyway, I guess I just wanted to say that. And like I said, I didn't mean anybody in particular. I just meant, just random kind of thing. Anyway, have a good day.